Welcome back to Jennifer Broussard Art. Today we're going to paint some ghosts and practice our negative painting techniques. I'm going to use a New York Central 100% cotton 8x8 block, 140 pound paper, 3 colors by Daniel Smith, Blue Apatite Genuine, Shadow Violet, and Payne's Gray. And then I'm going to try to do the whole thing with 2 brushes, a 10 and an 8 silver black velvet round. So now I'm going to get started. I'm going to actually first start with wetting this paper with some clear water. And I'm going to get the Blue Apatite Genuine. I picked this one for the granulation and also because it's a grayer blue. And I'm going to swipe it with more water all around. I want it very light on here. And remember, it is going to dry lighter than what you're looking at. I'm going to actually take some of this up because it's a little bit too blue. We want our first layer to be really white. This is kind of cool to just dab. And then you get some textures too. Now we're going to let that dry. Now I'm going to use a pencil and draw those ghost shapes. I'm going to put one, how about, going to come out like that. Let's do a little bit smaller one. There. And now we're going to paint around those ghosts. First, I'm going to get rid of some of that graphite. This is a kneaded eraser. You just roll it up and you can roll it across your whole outline and get up that extra graphite so it doesn't muddy up your paint. And I think I'm going to just wet in sections. I'll wet this area first around the outside of your shapes. I'm going to get some Payne's Gray. And I'm not going to go too dark too soon because we're going to be doing at least, 3 or 4 layers. I'm going to get a little bit of the blue, mix that in. That's a little too dark. And we're going to paint the whole area on the outside of the ghosts. And we're going to switch up the colors here and there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wet the rest of this. This paper is a little bit hard to paint on wet on dry. So I'm going to pre-wet it and then drop in the color. I'm going to try some Shadow Violet over here. And drop some in over there so it's not lopsided. Some Payne's gray. Some shadow violet. Some blue. A little more blue. Just change them up however you want and choose the colors that you want. Some Payne's gray and keep it light. We're going to be working on building up layers, light to dark, wet on wet technique, and painting around shapes for negative painting. If you want the outline that I used, it'll be available on my Patreon channel for free. Just sign up as a free member. Now I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll do another set of shapes. Apparently I didn't turn on record, so all I'm doing is painting now around all of the shapes. Still keeping it light. All of these shapes are going to get painted around a few times. Now you can kind of see how this is lighter than that. Starting to get a tie line up here. Some blue. Again, use the colors you like, colors that you have. Don't go shopping and get new ones just for this. You can if you want, that's always fun. Okay, getting tied lines here. This is also a great way to practice your line control. And move your paper around so that you can get a better angle. Okay, now we're going to let that dry. Now I'm going to make some small ghosts. Maybe there's one coming out of here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna still use this number 10. I am gonna get some of this graphite off. Okay, let's wet the paper. And now the area that we're gonna paint is shrinking, but it is getting more angles. So working wet in wet is even more important because it's going to take time to go carefully around those angles. Getting some blue. There's my new ghost. There's the second ghost. There's the first ghost. Shadow violet is so pretty. I don't use it enough. Okay, let's do in here. These look a lot like the Pac-Man ghost, don't they? Okay, let's get this wet down here. You don't have to get it wet all the way up to the line. Just get it wet enough, a little bit away from the line, so that when you are doing these angles, the water can catch the paint and it won't dry hard. Now you see how you can't tell the shape is there until you paint the outside layer? That's negative painting. Some water to spread that out. Practice holding the brush up on its tip. There's a lot to do here. Some more shadow violet in here, warm it up. You see how I am painting into these angles and the water is catching the paint so that it'll dry soft. And I can blend in some other colors. And you know, it's okay if you get this kind of line. We're just playing and having fun. That's really dark. Let's get some water in that. Okay, I don't think I missed any. Maybe up here. I think I missed up here. All right, let's do another layer. Let's get a bigger ghost up here. And maybe there's a ghost sideways flying by. this little guy right here, let's put, I kind of want to do something here. Let's put a ghost here. And let's put one here. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, that's good. All right, here we go. Make it off the graphite. Okay, let's get this wet. I think this might be our final layer. I'm going to switch to my number 8. And let's get some Payne's Gray up here in the corner. Go around this guy. Some blue. Going around all of the ghosts. And now that I think of it, I think I forgot that little piece right there. Get some more shadow violet. This would be pretty if you did it in just one color too. Granulating paints need water to show the granulation. If you put them on full power, they're just going to look like a regular color of paint. They're not going to have any kind of special effects. So you do need to have a good amount of water in them to make them spread out and blend. So layering them is pretty limited too, like what we're doing here. Meaning that if I keep layering on top of these, the granulation effect's going to go away. Some more shadow violet. Some blue. Okay, now this is where we have to go in between these little shapes in here. I want this a little darker right here. And I want this a little darker. I don't know if I did down here. It doesn't seem like I did, but maybe I'll just go over it again just in case. Okay, let's try that. I'm going to do one more layer because I want a chance to increase the contrast amongst all of the ghosts. So let's put a little guy right here. Let's put a little one, let's just do this. There's one there, and let's put, I don't think I want to put anything there. So there's 1, 2, 3. Like, I think I can do this. I can go 1, go like this, and down like that. Okay. Now, around the ghosts, I'm going to make it kind of contrasty, and then around, in some areas, I'll just leave it light. So I'm going to just get this wet. Isn't that granulation pretty? I'm going to get that Payne's gray, and right up next to the ghosts, I'll make it a little bit darker than away from the ghosts. So right here, Payne's gray. See, I need a little more contrast here because this is a very dark ghost. There. Okay, let's water this. I'm going to get some blue up here. Some Payne's gray. Some shadow violet, some Payne's gray on this one, some blue, get some of the shadow violet, Some more Payne's gray. Some more shadow violet. And now we'll go around this final ghost. Some blue. Okay, the outside's all done. Now I'm going to go through and do these little shapes. Some Payne's gray. A little bit right there. I think I want to put a little bit between these. There. Get some blue, blend that in. I think I might need, this is drying a little unevenly up here because I think I have actually taken some paint off as I was doing the layers. Okay, let's let that dry. Now we can use a black marker to make faces on the ghosts. This will be really fun because you can make them all different faces. So this one I'm going to do some oval eyes. This one I'm going to do some oval eyes and an open mouth. This one will have like a sideways mouth. Looks like a little bean. Let's do some really big eyes. Bigger eyes. And no mouth. I'm going to do some eyes like this. Let's do you could paint these too. You don't have to use a marker. Okay, so you get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. I'll keep recording, but I'll speed it up so you don't have to watch me fill in shapes with a marker. And there's your cute little negative painting practice ghosts for Halloween. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment if you wish. Happy Halloween and thanks for watching.